Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to another video. This is going to be a one-take tutorial on improving your dribbling approach in 1v1 situations in Rocket League. Now this will be applicable to 2v2 and 3v3 to a lesser degree, but of course most 1v1 situations happen in 1v1. But do not tune out just yet if you don't play any ones, because you'll definitely be able to use this a lot in 2v2 and sometimes in 3v3 to your advantage, and it's a very good thing to know at the end of the day. Now, we're going to take a look at a couple of videos from my own channel. One from last year, one from earlier this year. Two show matches, and we'll see some professional players executing this strategy. But before we do that, let's just really quickly talk about shadowing in defense. So, of course, shadowing in defense is a pretty popular thing to do, and if you haven't seen a good tutorial on how to shadow defend, then I would recommend Sunless Khan's tutorial on it. He did a really good job explaining how to shadow defend and how to get better at it. So one of the main things about shadow defense is that you stay between the ball and your near post at all times. So if this is somebody dribbling down the line at me, I would be somewhere like this, and if there's someone dribbling down this line, I would be somewhere like this. And if they want to, you know, switch to this side of the field, you would try and switch with them and stay between the ball and your near post. That's the general gist of it. Then it puts you in a good position to react to just about anything that they want to do. It gives you a good chance of saving shots in either side of your goal, because of course the side of the goal that the ball is closer to, you're also closer to, that being the near post. And the far post is further away, so even if they do shoot there, you've got longer time to get there before the ball crosses the goal line. Now, the first game I want to look at with you guys is this match between Flame and Speed. We're going to have two Johnnies in the screen for this bit, so hopefully you guys don't mind. It's safer to use two Johnnies, of course. Flame won this series 3-1, and at the end of the series, Speed said in the in-game text chat something along the lines of, or no, he didn't say if. He said, I can't figure out how to score past your defense. I feel like I tried everything. He said something like that. Basically, he felt like he couldn't get past Flame because Flame was so good in defense. And he's not wrong. Flame is an excellent defender. But let's first of all watch what happens in this play up until a goal gets scored. Then we'll rewind and we'll talk about some of the key moments. We'll talk about what was done well and what could have been done differently. So a pretty standard kickoff, one player with the boost in the ball in the back corner and the other running away down the line, getting ready to shadow defend like we just talked about. And there's a save and a really nice demo by Speed, and he's going to retake control of boost and ball at the halfway line and start a bounce dribble, which is going to be much harder to defend against, and he does end up scoring. So we're going to rewind back through that and pause at a couple of key moments, look at what went wrong, what went right, what could have been done better, before we go and talk about, or go and take a look at the other game that I want, or the other gameplay moment that I want you guys to see today. So here it is again, straight from the kickoff, 1-1. The Speed does get control after Flame tries to hit it past him and fails to do so. So this is the first key moment. This happens a lot in 1v1, but also in other game modes as well, where you have the ball in your back corner and you have full control with 100 boost, and your opponent, in this case just one, are running away to get 100 boost themselves. So Speed in this position decided to go down the line instead of dribbling across the field, and what we see afterwards is a pretty standard ball carry into flick attempt. Very, very basic at the highest level. You'll see this a lot. So the first thing I want you guys to note is where the goal is. Take a look at the goal and just how small it looks and how accurate Speed is going to have to be to get a shot past Flame, who is defending, like we talked about earlier, at the near post. And even though the top corner at the right-hand side of the goal is closer to us, the attacker, closer to Speed, it's also closer to Flame, so he's going to be able to save a shot if we shoot up there. And if we shoot far post, it's also going to be very savable. Flame's got great coverage. He can drive forward. He can accelerate into position to save just about any shot that Speed does from here. It's also pretty easy for Flame to see what Speed is doing. And maybe not the same could be said for Speed, who, if you are ball carrying, you need to be really careful not to just let somebody rush challenge you. I'm sure that's happened to a lot of you in the past. But like we saw, the shot does get saved. And it's a really heads-up play by Speed to get a demo on the landing. Want to make a quick comment, by the way, that it's not a bad position for Speed to be in, going down the line like we just saw there. I'm not saying by any means that's a terrible play. I just think that what he's about to do here is a better play, and it illustrates a real strength of positioning that might not be apparent on the first viewing. So instead of going down the line this time, Speed goes infield like we saw before. And now let's just really quickly pause here and notice where Flame is and what Flame is trying to do as a defender. He doesn't want to commit too far forward into his goal, because he knows if he drives too far forward, thus getting closer to the top right-hand corner of the goal as we're looking at it, he's going to leave the top left-hand corner vulnerable over his head and behind him. As we all know, once you've gone too far forward in goal, it's almost impossible to then get back and up, at least quickly. You need to reverse and then double jump and lean back, and it's very, very awkward to get that save. So that's why Flame is trying to delay as much as possible when he's going to move into the goal. And by doing so, he's left a really big opening on the right-hand side of his goal. And let's take a really quick pause here. How much easier is that for Speed to shoot into the corner of the goal that's further away from Flame than it was in the previous play? The far corner that was farthest away from Flame was also miles away from Speed, and he couldn't get the ball into there quickly. But now, the corner farthest away from Flame, the top right corner, is really close to us because we've dribbled across the face of the goal rather than down the line, and hitting it into that general area was all Speed needed to do. He didn't even need to hit the most powerful shot or the most accurate top corner shot for it to be really tough to save. We'll look again at Flame's perspective before we move on here. And you can see one of the other problems he has is he's not really sure, is that the shot right there? Is Speed going to chip this up and volley it? Is he going to half volley it? He doesn't know which one of these moments is going to be the shot. He actually doesn't even know if this is going to be the shot. Is this going to be the shot, or is Speed just going to catch this? Is he going to fake it? Is he going to let it bounce again and then try and outplay me with a slow play? Really, really hard as a defender here to calculate what's going on and cover all of your options. Yeah, it's pretty clear to see there that it's not a comfortable position for the defender to be in. Let's take a look at now Scrubkilla, excuse me, and Fairy Peak doing their versions of this play, both in the Manfield Night 5K Grand Final at this point. And we'll just let the play run through for both the goals, and then we'll rewind and talk about the key moments. You'll notice here that this is a very similar spot to where Speed and Flame found themselves, with Fairy Peak in Speed's shoes and now Scrubkilla in Flame's shoes, but already a difference in approach. Fairy Peak doesn't go down the line, he instead crosses over, and that sets up the top right corner, the corner furthest away from Scrub, to be closest to him. And thus, when he shoots it, there's almost no time for Scrub to react. You'll notice as well there that Fairy's dodging into the ball because he's playing a Batmobile. If he chips that without dodging, there's a good chance it'll hit the crossbar thanks to his low-profile hitbox. In Octane players, as we're about to see from Scrub, you'll see a bit more hook shots without dodging. So that's what Scrub's going to do here. Same thing. Sees Fairy Peak going down the line, crosses him over, hook shot without a dodge. It's still a boomer, and from further away, Fairy Peak still didn't have a chance to catch up with it, at least not easily. Real rocket there by Scrubkilla into the top corner. So like I said, let's just go back and pause at some key moments and compare to what could be happening had Fairy Peak decided to dribble down the line, or if Scrubkilla had decided to dribble down the line. So a ball chase from Scrub on kickoff. This is the key moment here. Fairy Peak already has decided that he's not going to dribble down the line. He's going to cross over to the right side of the field, and it's not even the cleanest start to a dribble. He wants to get the ball going around about supersonic or a bit slower in terms of how fast it's going. And then the run-up is a really big run-up, and at this point, if Scrubkilla is further forward in his goal, overcompensating for the possibility of Fairy Peak shooting in the top right corner, Fairy could always shoot this top left. It's super disguised shot. Scrub has no idea which way Fairy's going to shoot this until the shot actually happens, and then Fairy of course lets the ball roll across the face of his car a bit more and shoots it top right. He didn't have to do this though. He could have, of course, taken one touch and volleyed it. He could take one touch and then fake jump, mind game, Scrub. There's so many options. Just take one touch, catch and flick. Of course, Fairy's got really good flicks for a long car. The advantage of taking this line of approach, it doesn't just involve putting the defender in an awkward spot. It also, I think, gives you more options in what you can do while having a really good recovery and stopping the other player from getting a save and taking control of the ball. So let's take a look at Scrub's variation. Almost the same thing, and you'll notice that Fairy is trying to not much like Flame, he's trying not to go too far forward in the goal too early, because that would leave the top left corner wide open. And in doing so, he mistimes when Scrub is going to shoot it. Can't really tell if Scrub's going to shoot left or right. Scrub shoots right, and it just ends up in the back of the net. We'll watch one more Fairies perspective, then we'll hop into free play, and you know, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty easy to, I think, set up these shots for yourself in free play. So we'll do that right now. Let's just close down this video so we're not lagging too much. But yeah, as far as I know, there's no like really good training pack for this. I think the best thing for you to do is just to get into free play and then just roll the ball into your back corner, and just imagine that there's a defender running down the line towards his goal, or towards the boost in the back corner. All you want to do is get the ball rolling pretty much at the boost in that corner, and then you can try and go for a hook shot into their goal. Notice even if you don't score it, you're in a pretty good position to follow up on whatever might happen after this. If the defender does get a touch on this ball, the defender's going to be in the air. We're not in the air, we're just circling the edge of the box here, so we're in a great spot to react to whatever he does. If he hits it out to the right, we're going to be there. If he hits it out to the left, we could be there as well. It's such a fast recovery. That's one of the other advantages that we didn't actually see in any of the clips that happened, because the player scored on the first touch. But when you don't score on the first touch, you're really not compromising your positioning at all. It's one of the huge advantages of this play compared to the good old-fashioned dribble down the line and then flick maneuver. If we try this and it doesn't work, then we're in a bit more of a awkward spot here, aren't we? We're actually underneath the ball, and if the defender read that that was hitting the crossbar of the post, they're probably just scoring. So you can already see a major difference there in recovery time and in landing positions, and it can all be stopped by just noticing when you have the option to do this. Like I said at the start of this video, if the defender sees you doing this, they might try and cross over with you and then get between you and the new near post. So you need to be quick here. You need to try and do it when the defender's not looking. That's why every time that we saw players do this in the clips we just watched, the defender was going for boost. Other times that you might be able to do this would involve when the defender literally doesn't have any boost. If he doesn't have any boost at all, then yeah, you can probably just switch him over, and there's not much you can do about it because he can't keep up. And then you can try to hook shot to pretty much either top corner, or another option would be deliberately hitting the post, because it can be quite hard sometimes for these really fast shots for a defender to calculate whether or not it's on target. They just have to go and try and get the save, and if you obviously hit the post at the post that's closest to you, you can then get a pretty easy rebound. So here you would just want to hit this post. Maybe the defender expects it to be going in, and you can just follow up with an easy shot yourself. And like I said before, if they do get a save on this, we're not compromising our positioning at all. Very strong thing to, or very strong approach. Just a couple of other variations if you guys want to try them. I did say, or at least I think I said, that this is pretty much a strategy that players at any mechanical skill level can put in their own game. Like, it doesn't take much to drive into the ball and then boost away from it and then boost back towards it and try and take a shot on target. Obviously, if you have better mechanics, you're going to be more accurate, you're going to be faster into position. But the keys to remember are: take a big run up, number one. Don't be afraid to take a big run up. If we try and do a small run up here into a hook shot, it's not going to be anywhere near as powerful. It's also going to be harder to be accurate as well, funnily enough. It's easier to be accurate if you take a bigger run up and give yourself more time to adjust on the approach. So just try doing this in your own games, a big run up, and then if you see the defender coming forward to tackle early, that's when you just turn and beat him to the ball, because the ball is coming towards you. The fact that the ball is rolling in a direction that you're perpendicular to is actually helping you. See that the ball's actually coming towards me. If a defender comes off his line and tries to tackle me there, I can probably beat him to it and get it past him. Getting it on target in that case wouldn't really matter. It would just be a matter of getting it past him. Yeah, like I said before, even if you're not intending to hook shot, starting off with a dribble in this angle is a really good idea, because you can switch up into a bounce dribble and then take a shot from either a half volley or a full volley position. Or if you do like to ball carry, this is still a really good way to ball carry. Notice that if the defender went to the back left corner there, we would have had him in vision the entire time, and you can actually see when they're challenging, so you can time your flick better. This is an all in all, I think, just better way to approach a defended net than going down the line would be. So instead of going to the left here, we're just going to cross over, and then now the defenders on the left-hand side, they can't really shadow, and if you're better at flicking than me, you can just score, put it past them. So that's for all you ball carriers out there, although I don't think ball carrying is the best way to attack. I think that bounce dribbling and switching up between rolling ball dribbles and then into ball carries is a lot better. But yeah, don't like I said earlier, think that I'm just saying to stop going down the line entirely. There are of course situations where going down the line is a really good move if you think that you can catch them off guard with a mind game maybe, or if you just want to test their near post defense, go for it. That's not going to be a terrible position for you. If you could force them to jump and catch them on the ground as they land like Speed did with the demo, that's obviously going to be pretty advantageous. But I wanted to bring this to your guys' attention because I don't see many players doing it. I don't see even many high-level players doing it as their go-to. The go-to is very much always to just take the fastest route, just go straight down the line, and then try and do a reverse 45-degree flick when you get close to the net and try and hit that top corner boomer that I've honestly never even practiced for because I don't think it's as effective as it is time-consuming to learn. Yeah, this is a lot easier to learn. Just crossing over the defender and then trying to get some sort of shot into the far post. If there are any training packs, by the way, that you guys are aware of that are pretty good for these sort of dribbling plays, then I would love to know about that. I might make one myself. But in the short term, just start practicing this yourself, guys. Get the defender wrong-footed and start booming those shots on net. As you can see, I've got a little bit of work to do on my own, but it is harder to do while I'm talking and recording, as you hopefully might understand. But yeah, hook shots are really, really powerful. I think they go hand in hand with this strategy just perfectly. Remember to try closer range crossovers as well. It's not always about the long range setup from the back corner. Sometimes you could do it from the halfway line like we saw in the Speed clip. Sometimes you could do it from even closer. You could dribble a little bit further back from an offensive position. It's just up to you guys to try and visualize what kind of defender you're trying to outplay. What are you anticipating to be happening, and then just work on that. I do want to know as well, one thing before we finish here, is how much success you guys find with this. If you've never tried this before, if you've always been someone who just ball carries down the line in 1v1 situations, whether it be in 1v1 itself or in 2v2, if this is every time that you get the ball, then I would love to know your thoughts and your feedback on how well this worked out for you, because I know for a fact that when I started doing this, when I noticed some high-level players doing this and I realized how powerful the strategy it was, I tried it myself. And it really does give you so much more options, so much more safe options as well, and so much more difficult to save options in your final third offensive maneuvers. So definitely give it a go. Let me know how you get on. But yeah, I think I've said everything that I wanted to say for this one. I'm not sure if I missed anything out, but if you do have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Any more tutorials that you guys would love to or would like for me to make, then let me know about that as well. I'll be trying to make a few more of these one-take tutorials, maybe a couple more that are more wide variety of topics perhaps, and rather than this very specific focused tutorial. But I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully it was helpful to some of you. Hopefully it was helpful, of course, to all of you. And let me know in the comments how you're getting on with your changing up of your dribbling approach in 1v1 scenarios. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching and take care.